Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. And if you don't want to miss out on weekly pick a card readings like this one each week for me, don't forget to subscribe. Today's pick a card reading is Who Has Their Eye on You? In front of me, I have 4 different options, each with a different stone. Choose the one that really calls out to you. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. If you need more time, you can pause the video now, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so who has their eye on you? Okay, so right away I'm getting the impression that this is a new person, okay? Because there is this light, free, fun energy around them and you. And with this card, I see that this person is a fiery, lively, fun, adventurous, spontaneous person. And when they're in their element and around people that they're comfortable with, and you know, I feel like they can be outgoing and like the life of the party. And also with this card here, I feel like this person is also an opportunist. Okay, so they notice opportunity and they jump at it. Okay, they're always trying to make the best and the most out of situations. And then with the King of Air, I'm also getting the impression that at the same time that this person can be lively, they can also have time where they, you know, are more to themselves and not as talkative and just more observant of their surroundings, of their environment and who they're with. Okay, and I feel like in a sense because they're so this is an intelligent person too, I'm getting with the King of Air, but they're also like, okay, so with the way that they can observe people, it's like they can read people just from that. So they definitely have this interesting combination of being outgoing and talkative and like lively when they want to be, and then more reserved, observant, and just contemplative. So that's really interesting to see. Getting the impression with this card that you and this person are, this is a mutual attraction. So you both find each other to be highly attractive, and this is a mutual interest, okay? So I feel like this is somebody that you are currently crushing on or will be if you haven't met this person yet. Okay, and what I'm also seeing is that this person is old-fashioned when it comes to love, so they definitely like the traditional, you know, they value tradition, they value, you know, one person for the rest of their life type feeling. And they're also going to come toward you as a friend. Okay. So they are also all about, you know, just not rushing into things, but taking things not slow either, just like at a gradual pace. Okay. So like, and they're totally for, you know, friends first, friends becoming something more, like really getting to know somebody. Okay, so this person, they definitely come across as very independent, okay? And I actually feel like this came from, I mean, it partly could be from their personality, but this person's been hurt in the past, okay? And I do feel like, you know, they kind of have like this, like a, not jadedness, but like a little bit of resentment about like them giving their heart and them not getting the same in return. So I am getting the impression that they could be kind of guarded when it comes to love. But I'm getting the impression with this card, and like, you know, this horse is like, for me, this is like the blazing down your path card, okay? So like you have this focus and you are just going down your path no matter what. So while they're doing that currently in life, they also, though, you know, with these lightning bugs around it, it's like they and them going through the dark, it's like they want to believe in love again, okay? And I see that, like, and I feel like you showing up in their life is getting them to believe that it is possible to fall in love again. Like, the idea is starting to hit their mind, and that they do want to change their perception and go all in again with somebody. But, you know, it's kind of like one of those things that, like, well, for now, it's kind of like they're going to maintain this independence and do what they need to do to be self-sufficient. And I actually feel like this whole independence started, though, as like kind of like a healing mechanism for them, where they are like, well, you know, the only person that I know that I can rely on is myself, so I'm going to go all the way with that. And I see here too that, you know, they kind of can have a bit of a hero complex, and it does go hand in hand with them being so independent, which is a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So this person is constantly trying to be the best, you know, version of themselves, as well as I do feel like they're really focused on, you know, building a life for themselves as well. And they're just basically channeling all their energy into that currently, like on themselves and on their life. And the shadow attribute for that, the hero complex, is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So, and along with that, so yeah, they could kind of get lost in their independence, and it can be a form of escape because they think, you know, well, all I have to rely on is myself. I don't need anybody else. So that's like, they don't necessarily let themselves even entertain the idea of anybody else or somebody. But here's the thing though, but with you, I do feel like they are starting to, okay? So that change, that transformation is starting to happen. So it's breaking this whole independent streak that they have. Okay, and the other thing is, along with their heroism, they subconsciously, you know, sometimes this person will go for like a damsel in distress type. And it's almost like to ensure that this person needs somebody, okay? And yeah, but I feel like this person isn't drawn to that type for long though. So really, they overall do want somebody who is more on the same page as them and independent as well. And doesn't need saving and doesn't, you know, I actually get the impression that this person can go like long periods of time without texting. Like they could, you know, it's not always right away, but like it could be literally maybe even like longer than what people are used to, like hours. And I feel like if you're independent too, that's not going to bother you, but you're actually going to like that about them. And it doesn't mean they aren't interested. That's just how this person is. In fact, you'll know that they're interested because they will initiate messaging with you. So yeah, you know, but here's what's interesting is like they feel like when they entertain the possibility of allowing, you know, somebody in, and you are the one who's sparking that idea within their mind, they feel like, you know, like kind of brand new is the feeling, like, you know, just lively again. And yeah. Okay, so it's possible they could be an air sign, but they don't have to be. And Taurus in particular came out. But again, they don't have to be that. Okay, group number 1, this is who I see for you. If you know who this is, let me know in the comments. And if this resonated, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 2. Okay, so who has their eye on you? Okay, so right away I'm getting that this person is either an ex or it was somebody that you were involved with and talking to. Okay, so what I'm seeing with this person is that this person is like in love with the idea of love. Okay. And I do feel like with these two cards that they feel like, you know, you're the one. And that's why they haven't let go of this connection with you. And I truly do feel like they think that they are the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, I find this all to be really interesting. Okay, so they have this definite like romantic theme going on. Like they believe in romance, they believe in the one, and I do believe that they feel like you are it. Okay. And okay, so this person at their best shows up like the King of Fire. So whether guy or girl that you're dealing with, just flip it to make it work for you. But yeah, so this person at their best can be like this real charismatic. Okay, yeah, that came through twice with the King of Fire and the Charming card. And just like have a way with words, can be lively, just enigmatic, and like real engaging person. Okay, who makes you feel excited about life and like anything is possible. And okay, so currently though, their state is they're dreaming about what you two could be. Okay, so more than taking action, this person right now is currently in this kind of dreamy stage. Okay, so they're kind of getting lost in fantasy of what could be rather than what currently is between you two. You could be thinking, what? I haven't even heard from this person. Okay, yeah, because that they're getting totally caught up in fantasy land. And I'm also seeing with this card that they're dreaming about reuniting with you and it being this passionate thing, but they're currently kind of calculating though, like how could that work? How could I come forward and best approach you in a way that you will feel the exact same way? And okay, so like with this card, I'm actually feeling like, yeah, it's kind of like they're in this watching and waiting stage, kind of to see like if they see any sign from you that you also think that they're the one. Okay, so I feel like this person ended up roaming free from this connection. And I'm kind of getting the impression with these two cards of servant and companion that this person is kind of like they're a giver, but in the sense where I feel like they kind of lose themselves in a relationship. Okay. And they could even like kind of harbor resentments and think like you maybe didn't give as much, and like somehow kind of they twist it to feeling like they're the victim, even though this could come from them not being completely true to themselves and, you know, communicating honestly with you and just like maybe, you know, and like something happened and you guys just like cut this off. Like, I feel like they also have a tendency to be kind of impulsive. Okay, so along with their fiery nature, it can also, you know, go the other way, and they might like say or do something that, you know, in the heat of the moment, in the heat of being triggered, and that could be what ended it. But yeah, they definitely have this kind of like impression of themselves though as being like this like good guy or girl, and I just feel like I don't want to call it like a fake nice, but it's almost like being nice with an agenda, you know, like kind of like it's like doing something nice for somebody and then expecting something in return. So yeah, and that doesn't necessarily make them right or wrong. It's just how they operate, and they expect like people to mirror it back to them. And when they don't, they cut off from people, if that makes sense. It's like their love language, basically. Okay, but with this card, I do see that this person wants to reunite. And possible signs that came through for this person is Capricorn and Sagittarius. But they don't have to be. In fact, you could be one of those. But I do feel like, you know, with the fire that came through strong here, they do have this like adventurous and free spirit nature like a Sagittarius, as well as like they could be down for, you know, traveling and just like, I'm getting the impression too, like doing things outdoors, like activities and stuff like that. And then with a Capricorn, I feel like, you know, they do have a part of them that is hardworking and has good work ethic. And, you know, when their mind's focused on something, they go all out with it, with an idea. Whether it's about love or work or, you know, anything like that. It's kind of like, I feel like your person means well. It's just like sometimes the way they go about it can like make somebody be like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. But I do feel like overall, I am getting the impression though that this person has a heart and they do mean well, and they can be a fun, lively person. Like I said, at their best, they're the king of fire. But it's like, you know, all this giving, and it's like they can lose themselves in a relationship. So yeah, I mean, that can come with, you know, being balanced on their part and communicating efficiently when things aren't, you know, going the way they would want it to. Okay, so let me give you an example. Something just came through about this whole servant companion archetype that they have going on that could get in the way of a successful relationship. So I feel like they're the person, like I said, they are a big time romantic, right? With these 4 cards showing up at the top of the thing, like they are a definite romantic who believes that you are the one. So this person is willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, so this is where their giving nature comes through. But along with that, it's kind of like, you know, so that's the person that might pay for everything. It's the person that would cancel plans that they had with like friends or family to see you. And although that can be flattering, it's almost like when we are given the red carpet laid out in front of us, it's like if it's not balanced and this person doesn't have like a life outside of you, and they are canceling and they're not putting, you know, certain things, it's like it's like it's almost like people can lose respect for somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's like, and then this person ends up like, it could also be the person that, you know, does all the, like, I've seen it, you know, it's like they'll do all the chores, they'll do all the cooking, and it's just like they'll do everything for the person who they think is the one. And yet, you know, all along the way, they're hoping this person like wants to do stuff too, but they won't ever say anything. So that's where they harbor like any resentment. So if this person was just kind of balanced and true to themselves and communicated, I feel like you guys would have a successful relationship. So yeah, group number 2, this is who I see for you guys. Let me know in the comments if this resonated and if you would go back with them. And if this resonated, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 3. Okay, so who's got their eye on you? Okay, so this is really interesting, group number 3. The person who's got their eye on you, I'm seeing is, it feels like a new person, okay, because the energy feels light and free and fun. And, okay, so this person I'm getting is in the spotlight, okay? We got the 6 of Fire here and my card here. And this is like definitely somebody who somehow is in the spotlight. And I truly feel like they felt like the key to their happiness was doing whatever it is that they're doing. But, you know, with the Ace of Cups reversed here, I'm getting the impression that it's not, you know, it's like they're good at what they do. Like I see that with these 2 cards flying out next to each other. Like this person is successful in this area, or they will be, depending on how new they are at whatever it is that they're doing that's in the spotlight. But, you know, it's kind of like I'm getting the impression though that they're coming home and they're alone. Okay. So, yeah. So now that they're like starting to get this free time, I'm feeling with this card, I feel like, you know, all of a sudden they're getting this space, like a breather. I'm feeling like this zen type feeling, whereas yeah, like not such hectic energy like what when they were in the midst of, you know, doing what it is that they do. Now that they're getting some space, a breather, some time to think, it's like they're coming home alone and love is on their mind and they've got their eye on you, but they're not saying anything currently, I feel. And if they are saying, you know, like if you 2 are messaging, then I feel like it's not a lot right now. I'm also getting the impression, though, with these 2 cards, that this person, though, is also kind of going through, like, something. There's something that they're going through that feels kind of like a maze right now, okay? And they're just kind of like, and as soon as they feel like, you know, oh, they've tackled this one obstacle, like, something else pops up. And then they tackle that, and then, like, it's smooth sailing for a while and then something else pops up. So like something currently does have their attention outside of like their love life, but like, yeah, they're just trying to find, you know, like their zen, their peace, their garden. Like on one hand, yes, I do see like they seem freer than this hecticness that went along with whatever it is that they do. But at the same time, they're still kind of like preoccupied with whatever's in front of them and going on currently in life. And I do see that love and being at peace is at the forefront of their mind for what they want, especially with the new year coming. Yeah. And with the sun here in particular, I feel like this represents kind of like the new year and them wanting peace and them wanting love. They want that flipped. Okay, and so along with that, so for those of you that haven't heard yet from this person, I feel like you will in or around the new year or after. Also, know that they are highly attracted to you guys, okay? So, guy or girl, doesn't matter. You are represented here as the Queen of Water. I almost said wands, which I find to be interesting. So I actually feel like, you know, as much as you guys came out as the Queen of Water, so, you know, instantly what I see about that is like you being this attractive person and this person who, you know, comes from the heart and is just all around like what they want in a person, you know, like a dream guy or girl basically. But I also feel like since Queen of Wands came out as well, that you also have like this fiery, passionate, fun, lively nature about you as well. Like the Queen of Water is definitely a more introverted, you know, of the 2 queens, but then I do feel like you also have that fiery, outgoing nature as well. So I Would not be surprised, group 3, if you guys were a mixture of intro extrovertedness. But either way, they find you to be attractive and intriguing to them. And like I said, when they think of starting something with somebody, you are who comes to mind. Okay. But yeah, like I said though, this person currently though is laying low and they're just kind of like watching you on social media, not really saying anything. So the key that comes as far as you two go is them communicating with you. And, you know, just being like truthful, honest communication about what they want. Okay, so this is kind of funny. So the God archetype came up underneath them being in the spotlight and very like Leo energy here. I'm also getting Geminis coming through. Okay, so in Aquarius. So yeah, I'm definitely getting like fire and air vibes for the person that you could be dealing with. So yeah, I do think, you know, this person thinks highly of themselves and can sometimes possibly, you know, get carried away and be kind of completely, you know, when they're in this performing zone, be into, you know, pride and ego. But they also have this other side to them, which is more hermit mode. And I'm also getting more of a humbleness and groundedness to them. So they definitely have this interesting dualistic nature about them. So when they are in their zone and doing what they do that's in the spotlight, yeah, you know, they can get kind of an ego boost. But I feel like when they're outside of that, they can be actually a pretty grounded, down-to-earth person. Not humble, but like grounded and down to earth is more what I'm getting with this. And I do think they value their alone time. So they go from being in the spotlight and, you know, being surrounded by many to valuing their alone time. So like you, they also can be like an intro extroverted person depending on their mood, you know. Yeah, okay, and then with this card, I feel like, you know, it's kind of like one minute I feel like they're attentive and they message, and then the next minute they could retreat, okay? And it could be like for self-care, but I feel like it's also, you know, it's like a way for them to decompress, because it can take a lot of energy to perform, to speak, to put yourself out there, to be viewed by many. And then sometimes, you know, it is like you don't want to talk, you don't want to associate with anyone, and you just want you time, you know. So, but I think that's the other thing though, that this person kind of lacks communication. So sometimes, you know, I feel like they might leave people on red or ghost them for a bit, and people are like, what is going on? I thought this person was interested, and they are. It's just that, you know, they really, like, I feel like, retreat sometimes from the world, basically. And all that would take is them communicating this with you, so it doesn't leave you wondering or thinking you're getting mixed messages. It's kind of like so many of relationship problems would really be like not even an issue if people communicated effectively. But everybody operates differently, and they all have their own different way of communicating. So, but yeah, okay. Group number 3. This is who I see for you. If you know who this is, let me know in the comments. And if this resonated, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 4. Okay, so who has their eye on you? Okay, so when I look at your guys' cards, the impression that I get is that this is an ex or somebody that you are involved with. Okay, so I feel like something happened with you guys. Okay, you had some kind of obstacle in your relationship, and instead of you both finding a solution and compromising on this situation, that you guys kind of like, I feel like, blew up at each other or got in like this big fight, and you were both kind of like, forget it. Okay, I'm just feeling like this real fiery energy and like this cut off feeling from this connection. And I don't feel like either one of you were done with this connection at all. Like the feelings are still there. And yet I feel like you guys both felt like you had no choice but to try and move on from this connection. And I just feel like, this person that you were involved with, it was just in this world of confusion. And I actually feel like with this card that they like try and like analyze and think about like, what could I have done differently? Okay, because that's the impression I'm getting with this, is that they feel like deep down that they kind of blew it with you due to whatever that they did, and instead of like coming to some kind of solution, just like you both got into it and cut this off. And so this is a general reading, so this isn't going to apply to all of you. I feel like in an attempt to move on, this person ended up getting involved with somebody else, and it didn't help, and it didn't last, and it just made them like, it all came full circle and made them realize, how much you mean to them. And for others of you who this person did not end up with anybody else since you, then they might have tried talking to others, or, entertaining others in an attempt to move on or find anything that remotely felt like what you guys had, but to no avail. Like, I don't feel like any of that has worked for them. Okay, with the Six of Cups and the Nine of Cups reversed, I just feel like everything that they've tried to do, like every attempt to move on, it's not working. It's falling flat. They're not feeling it, but I definitely see the two here, so it was like they tried. So they like always had you in one hand and like this other possibility in the other hand, and like it kept falling like with the other. Okay, so even if it wasn't a person, but like a new, hobby or new something, just to like get them moved on, like none of it works, and it always comes back to that connection that they had with you. Like nothing is comparing. And like I said, like whatever it was, like it helped them to see clearly that you are the one that they want to be with. And I do see that they want to reunite with you. Okay, so the other thing that I'm getting with this person as well is that they've got a lot going on in life currently, and it's kind of been a hectic time for them. So like every area of life, I feel like they're kind of like juggling, like their job might have ended, or their job might have like this drama going along with it, or just changes are happening, just something to where it's keeping them on their toes, they're busy, I just feel it, like it's a lot, and a lot of hecticness. And I'm also, so the phrase that came to me when I saw this card too was that this person sometimes bites off more than they can chew. So like sometimes I feel like they will try and like either do overtime with work or take on like all these different obligations and responsibilities. So, and it's kind of like their head's barely above water, like they're doing it, but they're barely like making it feels like. So it's almost like this person's kind of got this strange, like every time they try to do right or, like move on or do something, it like kind of weirdly backfires on them. Okay, so yeah, and along with the biting off more than they can chew, so it's like instead of maybe taking on more on their plate. It's like they need balance, they need rest, like they don't do enough of that. And it clouds their judgment with things. And then it ends up backfiring. And then it's like, so I feel like this person, every time they take one step forward, they feel like they're taking like a 3 steps back, you know, like that's just the energy of them. The other thing that goes right along with them, you know, taking on several obligations when they could use the rest, is they have the rescuer and advocate archetype. So it's kind of like this person, you know, they are constantly like putting themselves out there to help others, and sometimes they do things in return, and when they don't get it, it's kind of like they, you know, can lose themselves in that process. And yeah, and it's kind of like, you know, sometimes they do things for personal gain, so it's not as selfless and as they come across. And also they can sometimes leave people, you know, kind of, instead of like helping them to be able to do things themselves, they set things up in a way that will make that person need them. So yeah, okay, this is interesting. Another group was like this too, where this person acts like this selfless giver, but they're actually kind of doing it in hopes of getting something in return. And yeah, and they kind of just end up losing themselves in the process. And again, I don't feel like, you know, they're doing that to be manipulative. I think it's just a strange, not strange, but like, just kind of an archetype that they play out without even realizing it. So yeah, the impression I'm getting, group number 4, is that this person basically, though, if they just took like a break from everything that's kind of keeping them distracted and just going, like they think that'll help them. Like the more busy they are, the more they think that they'll feel better, but they're actually kind of feeling worse because they're just feeling more tired, more depleted, more exhausted, and it's just furthering their confused state. But if your person could actually get the balance in their life that they need and the break and communicate with you, I feel like you too would have a shot, because they do see clearly what it is that they want now. Whereas before, you know, getting caught up in the emotions and the way that things ended, they didn't. But like I said, their perception did come full circle. Once they tried to move on, they realized, oh, nope, it's you. And yeah, okay, group number 4, this is who I see for you guys. Let me know what you like. Would you take this person back? Okay, and if this resonated, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.